I've never really thought of the idea of doing a vlog before, because, you know, outside of my wrestling reviews and that sort of thing, who's just shit what I'm up to in my life. But I suppose one of the things that I'm trying really hard to do at the moment is accountability, because I'm trying to lose weight once again. Look on the screen right now, you'll see that I've got the absolute definition of yo-yo when it comes to losing weight. And last year, to be fair to me, we lost more than we ever have. But as you can also see, it's gradually going back on again, and I'm struggling to slow it down, is the truth. Where to start with something like this? In October of last year, I was rushed to hospital. If you don't follow me on social media, you probably won't know this one, but I thought I was having a heart attack, basically. October the 14th of 2020, rushed to hospital, you know, all the ambulance, all the usuals. And yeah, I had the most horrific chest pain, and yeah, I thought I was having a heart attack. It wasn't I think I'm going to die sort of thing, but it was just, the pain was so unbelievable. And I can't pronounce what it was that I had all the tests, I had all the checkups, all that jazz. I was diagnosed with whatever this is on the screen right now. I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. And I decided, because basically I got given essentially a clean bill of health. I got told, yeah, because I'm type 2 diabetic, you know, my blood sugar was a little bit too high, but it was better than it has been in a long time, because I've, you know, lost a lot of weight. And because I've been given a clean bill of health, I just thought I need to do something with this. I need to do something productive with it. So the next day, October the 15th, I went for a run. First time since about March I've been for a run, and I've been running ever since. On the day of recording, I've been for 48 runs. I did my first 10k of the year last week, so you can see that I've been building up my my run distance, run times. And yeah, I've got my head in my head that I want to do a half marathon. But so incorporated some weight training as well, because if you remember, if you're a long time viewer of my channel especially, I used to do I'll put some clips on now of when I used to go to the gym in 2015 all the time. I used to do like a little mini vlog sort of thing then. Oh, that's no good, is it? So yeah, weight training a couple of times a week. Last week I ran 5 times, for example. Yeah, weight's not going down though, which is a concern. And if I'm honest, what I actually think the problem I've got at the moment is that I'm not eating enough, and that's why the weight's not going down. Yesterday's a great example. Okay, so yesterday I ate 1,600 calories, should we say, and at no point in the day was I oh my god, I'm so hungry. You know, I was just nicely full, had decent filling foods. Problem is that I did a 8k run, and so I burnt, and of course I walked the dog like I'm doing now twice. So all told, I burnt 3,100 calories. And as someone who doesn't want to eat back their calories, I struggle to know how much should I eat, you know. So yeah, the weights seem to have stopped at 16 stone 2, which is one of those, it's for me, it's one of those, oh come on, you can lose 2 pounds, and it's like, well, clearly I can't, because I was 16.2 on Saturday, I'm 16.2 today. Like, oh. But yeah, in myself I'm very good. My business is doing so ridiculously well at the moment, and if this becomes a series, for example, it's just probably, I'm hoping it's just gonna be like, just business is great. So if you look at, yeah, on the screen, yeah, I'll show you. Last week, this is what I was doing. I was teaching myself a program called Animatron, and so I was making animations that look like this. And if you don't know my line of work, this probably doesn't make a scrap of sense to you. And even I, you know, watching it back now, can go, yeah, I do that differently. But yeah, that's my business is IT security, if you're wondering. We're called Lithify, lithify.co.uk if you want to go and look at what we do. I set it up a few years ago. How long ago did I set it up? 3 years ago. Because as long as I've been married. We incorporated the business a week before I got married. So if you're wondering, that's why I don't do wrestling reviews more than anything else these days. I just don't have the fucking time. I get so little free time. And if you're a subscriber of mine and you've seen the Halo vids that I've done, for example, you know, "Ooh, what are you playing Halo?" and you could be watching wrestling. I don't watch any wrestling anymore. And when I do, I want to watch something that's really good. So the last wrestling session that I had with Danny Ace, Christmas week. So a couple of days. I think it was Christmas Day was the Friday, so it was the Sunday after Christmas. And basically, what we're doing at the moment is we're doing this thing where instead of watching some WCW, basically we would get together on a Friday night on Zoom or something like that, on Skype or what have you, and we would watch something shit. We went through. Do you remember my 1999 Sucks series? We went through a lot of the old, really bad shows. And like, look, is this as bad as we remember it? Because we've realised, of course, this was last year, that these shows are now 20 years ago. And in some respects, in some cases, it's been 10 years since I reviewed them. Which means it's been 10 years since I watched them last. Because, you know, you think about it, if you watch WCW Mayhem 99, you know, I'm not going to watch it again after I've watched it, reviewed it, hated it. Like, should we watch it again? No. But that has become a laugh. Let's see if it's not as bad. And you can just tell how much I've mellowed as a man, as a person. I can't get angry at them. It's just like, this is just not very good. The one, I tell you, the one, right, was WCW Uncensored 1999. Okay? If you ever saw my review of that, Danny always used to say it's one of his absolute favourite reviews, because I mean, I just absolutely ripped the show to bits. Just bits and bits, and then the Ric Flair Hulk Hogan cage match, you know, really laid into. And I just sat there the whole time. I was enjoying Danny Ace's company, but just going, this is boring, isn't it? It's not bad, it's just boring. It's not so bad that it's you know, you can get some entertainment out of it. It's just dull. So what we started doing instead is we basically we just pick our favourite matches. And there's a spinner app, I think it's called wheelofnames.com, and basically we just put 10 matches each into it, and whichever comes out, that's what we watch. So we watched 5 hours straight over Christmas on that one evening of just great matches. You know, let me think. Here's the thing: sometimes not necessarily great matches, just historically significant matches. So 2 examples are, we watched Angle versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 21, for example, and we watched Andre versus Hogan from WrestleMania 3, because it's a historically significant match. And you know, it's like, we got to the end of the night and we were doing star ratings for them, and the average star rating for our matches was in the 4-star range. Actually, I think it was more like 3.5, because we watched. Do you remember the famous one, the ECW one, the Bam Bam Bigelow versus Taz one, where they go through the ring? Yeah, God, that match is shite. And we gave that one star because we were feeling generous because it was Christmas, and that really brought the average rating down. So that's where I'm at. The thing is, I keep thinking to myself, I want to do something wrestling related. And I'll tell you for why. And if I ever do this idea, I'll probably tell this story again. But it went like this, right? I've got a UBW chat on Facebook Messenger. Okay, so the majority of the UBW roster in that. The thing is, we've talked about UBW so much over the last 2 years with the Chronicles and with the the UBW review thing, review retrospective thing. Yeah, anyway, we've talked about UBW so much, there isn't really much to say about UBW. So we just talk about wrestling. And for the most part, if they're talking about the current product, I don't even join in with the conversation, because I'm just sat there going, whatever. Don't mean anything. And they were talking about, the guys were saying about Rhea Ripley, and they were saying how great she is and what a good wrestler and blah 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 blah. And I'm sat there going, I couldn't tell you 3 Rhea Ripley matches, not 3, right? While this conversation's going on, Danny Ace sent me a message saying, dude, this was on a Friday morning when he's at work, dude, Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage happened at WrestleMania 3, why was there never a rematch? And I went, you already know the answer to this, dude. I don't know, I'm at work, I can't check. So remind me. And I just gave him this big spiel about how Ricky Steamboat wanted to have time off because his son was being born, and how the title was going to go to Butch Reed. Butch Reed no-showed the show, so it went to Honky Tonk Man. And I'm just sat there going, that was in 1987, when I was 5 years old. And it's crystal clear in my mind. But you've got this incredibly talented worker like Rhea Ripley, and I couldn't tell you 3 of her matches. And it was just one of those, again, I just wish there was something I could use this knowledge for, you know. But I don't have the time or the inclination to make reviews. You know, that's the tricky one. I've got no interest in doing reviews, because reviewing wrestling for me was always time consuming, because it means taking notes, and for taking notes means you have to keep stopping it. So a 3-hour pay-per-view can take you 5 hours comfortably, if you're lucky, sort of thing, you know. And when you're money employed and living in the little flat in Stoke with emergency service vehicles, you know, that's not an issue. But nowadays I just don't have that sort of time, you know. Anyway, so I keep thinking to myself, maybe the spinner idea with the wheel of names, put some topics in and just go, right, talk about that. So who killed WCW, for example? Or why don't you watch the current product? Or what's wrong with the current product? Or, you know, what topics could you talk about? You know, do you look back now and go, tell me about some wrestlers that you used to not like, and nowadays you look back on them with a whole new eye? Like, I don't know, someone like Albert, for example, who I hated back in 2001, who, as much as I can watch now, I go, he's actually pretty decent, wasn't he? For example. But then it's the time. Where do I find the time to sit down for an hour and record that? And also, would anyone even watch? Is anyone watching this now? Are you watching this now? Am I literally just talking to myself in a field because I feel like I should do fucking YouTube videos because I've got this channel that's still got a decent amount of subscribers on it, and no one wants to fucking watch my mixes or watch me playing bloody Halo, do they? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, today's the 12th of January. It's my wife's birthday in 2 days' time, and we'll have been together for 5 years soon, which is ridiculous. And life is good. Pandemic's bollocks, but because of the type of job that we do and the business we run, we've been relatively successful during the pandemic. And it's a difficult one to say. You can't really say that to people without sounding like a twat. So if I sound like a twat because of that, I'm sorry, because people are losing their jobs, people don't have enough to eat, blah 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 blah, and we're doing all right. It's one of those times where, you know, at the end of the day, in my previous life, I had to go to food banks and didn't have any money, and, you know, lived a very much a hand-to-mouth existence. And nowadays, I don't. So, you know, it's one of those tricky things, because I sometimes feel guilty about that, and it's balancing it with, well, I shouldn't feel guilty because I work bloody hard, and my wife especially works very hard. You know, she's the boss of the business at the end of the day. So yeah, this is my little vlog, far longer than I thought it would be because I've got on a tangent. If you like this, I might do another one. I think, like I say, accountability is an important one. I want to be able to show, this is what I did, this is what the workouts I've done, you know, this is the runs I've done, this is the distance. Anyway, so if you like this, let me know. Click subscribe if you haven't already. And I hopefully will see you soon. Take it easy, guys.